This is a Makita DTD152. As you can see, the trigger has gone on it. Light works, everything works, battery's charged, doesn't work. Take the screws out. The very simple way to repair a trigger is to buy a new trigger. Do not buy a new impact. Well, you could for $100, whereas a new trigger will only cost you about $30, depending on where you buy it from. Once all the screws are removed from the outside faces, take the back cap off. There's one last screw inside. Once you take that off, you can start managing the outside case. That comes off, set that to the side. From here, you can take that out. The trigger comes out, and you will remove the two power cables which are there. One. Two. Now this trigger has a light built into it, which you will have to remove the whole motor assembly. So pull that out, leave that to the side. Take your little trigger reverse forward toggle. Take the wires out, which they do have little tiny clips that they have. The light comes out. That's your other half. Set that to the side. Where your battery goes, you get a flat screwdriver and take the two clips out. That might be a bit tricky. Sort all those screws to the side. And remove the other side. And one last one. And that is it. Set that battery charging point aside. From old to new. Like I said, you can purchase one of these for $30. If it comes from China, it'll take 5 weeks, like it did for me. Anyways, throw that out. And just as you took it out, put it back together. So you have your small little connector. Put that back in. You have your other two connectors. Remember which way you took those out. That's your starting point for your charging. Now, careful that you don't crisscross your connectors for your light, so keep those loose. Put that connector back on, like that. Now, you take your case back, and as you went, start at your light. Know which way your light goes. There's only one way it can go. There's your light. From here, wires go across. And use a flat screwdriver to get your cables I hope you can see this. Back on the little clips. Make sure that they're in there. Make sure the light stays in. Go around. Keep your white cable and black cable the same way all the way around. So it goes around. Use your flat screwdriver to push them in. Around the side you have clips where your wires go through. White cable goes to the right. That clips in. Cable goes to the left, and just keep clipping them in. It takes time, but just work it around. There it is. That doesn't really need to be there. Now there's two tabs there, so same as always, black cable goes on top of the white, or bottom of the white one, like that. Trigger can go around. Set your charging point first at the bottom, like so. That wires can get bent back. At this point, you can put your motor back on. You can clean it. I don't really mind it too much, so it can just go back the same way. That will only clip one way as well. Sometimes that piece is a little bit tricky to get, but seems to be in. Same way, grab your little screws. And connect the same wires the same way they came out. Usually the longer wire goes at the bottom. Now you can clip in, once your bottom wire is in, you can clip in, push your wires around. Don't forget your little reverse and forward switch, which that'll clip into that little trigger switch. So that goes in. Make sure when it goes in, it clips it. Which that is it. You can try it by hand. Take your other screw through the wire. And that is it. Before you put your whole assembly back together and figure out that it doesn't work, grab your charged battery. Nothing will happen. Plug it in, and that should work. Forward. Reverse. Forward. Reverse. And that looks like it has a lot of power. If you don't want to get shocked, or if you're afraid, what you can do is grab that yellow charging point and you take the battery out. From there, put your wires neatly in there. You can kind of pull them around. Now you grab your other half of your impact drill. Make sure the battery charging point clips in, and everything else should go back the same way it came through. Remember that you did take one screw out of the inside of the backing plate. At this point, you could replace your carbon brushes, but they seem to be alright. You can order them and just have them handy for when they do go out, but for me, that's it. Put your the back cap on. One more screw. There, flip it around. Get all your screws in. And the screws just only need to be snug. You don't have to torque them down or anything, just until you feel that they bite and they're a bit tight. They should be good. And that is your brand new trigger. One last time, you take your battery, put it in, and make sure it works. If it does. And that is the finished product. Thank you for watching. See you next time.